Hey guys, Brenny here, and today I'll be teaching you the basics of inverters and repeaters. So if you already know about this, feel free to close the video. A like would be greatly appreciated though. In front of me I have a basic on-off switch for a redstone lamp. If you do not know how to make something this simple, I recommend you just go to a creative map like I have here and just play around with it, and over time you'll get the basics down, and then you can come back to my tutorials that I'll be doing a small series of and hopefully learn something new. So right now I have a 15 block line of redstone, and that will hit this this redstone lamp on the 16th block, and on the on block 0, I suppose we could call this, since this is block 1 and that sign's block 15, we have a switch which we could or lever, and we could put a torch, we could put a pressure plate, we could put a button. So that's the basics of it. Now say we wanted this redstone lamp off when the power was going, when this switch was turned on, and we wanted it on when this switch was turned off. You would make a simple inverter, which basically means it inverts the signal, so it comes in on and comes out off. These can be used in many different ways. I don't really use them that much unless I do need the outcome to be opposite. So most of the time you'll have your redstone contraption, and then if it's putting an output of on and you don't want it to be on at a certain point, you would put an inverter. So that's inverters for you. If you put another inverter here, that's actually creating a repeater, and that's what I'm going to teach you now, because you'll see it's repeating the signal. It goes here, turns this signal off, which allows this torch to come back on. Now the reason you use these are to lengthen signals, so we'll make another little redstone line here, and we'll go the max limit of blocks, which is 15 like I mentioned before, and you'll see that this redstone isn't lighting up. What I can actually do is put a inverter here and continue the signal on, and that will invert the signal continued on, and then this lamp will actually be able to turn on if I flip the switch. Now obviously you could just put a repeater there, but we'll get to that in a sec if you already know about that. And there we go. Now you can also do things like adding repeaters. So throwing a repeater here does the same signal. So like I showed you before, signal on and coming out on. So that is a repeater. An inverter does the opposite. So the signal comes in on and comes out off. And you'll see it's making it to this block. Now there's little tricks you can do to get them a bit more out of your repeaters. So what we will do is I'll set up a little demonstration now and come back to you guys. Okay guys, so here's our example here. You'll see at the front of me I have a really long redstone line going into this lamp with a bit of zigzags going on, and you'll see that if I put a repeater right here, it actually doesn't make it to the lamp still. Now we could put another repeater, but that will actually add a bit more delay, because you'll see when there's a repeater there's a bit of a delay. So I'll show you that now. Wait, I can't show you with that obviously because that one doesn't work. I'll show you with this one. There we go. So with this switch, when I flip it on and off, the lamp is basically instant with it. With a repeater, it actually adds a bit of a delay. So like that, you'll see it's a bit more delayed. If I put the delay up a bit higher, it's a bit more delayed. And you can actually use that to your advantage and make some things actually look pretty with timing and things. So I could do this and make it take forever, like so. And then the lamp will be on, and it works the same. It'll take a sec to turn off because it's taking a second to get the power away. But we'll actually get a bed now. That is not the bed. And sleep and make it daytime, and you guys will be able to see clearly again. There we go. I know, right? Sleeping in the middle of a tutorial. How rude. Alright, here we go. So now if we wanted to get the most out of this one repeater here, we can actually put a block where it's meant to be and then the repeater, and that will still power the repeater because this block is getting powered. And there's other little things you can do on this block to add to it. You could put a torch on top to indicate that the power's reaching. You could put pistons there. Basically this block, if the power is going into it, is much like this block. It's on, so I could technically put a block here and put the glowstone lamp anywhere on this block and it will still power it. So that's how you get one little extra block. Now you'll see if I put another block here that it actually doesn't go through, because you're not creating a new source of power, you're just extending that one by 1 basically. So to actually take the power from this block, you need to use a repeater. And you'll see that still doesn't quite make it to our little glowstone lamp. So there's one other thing we can do, is by putting another block there. And that will actually, this is weird. It shouldn't make sense, because like they should have the same effect, but they don't. So you'll see that this redstone repeater is actually powering this block. And it's powering it enough to basically say it's its own power source. So it actually has the power to carry through onto a redstone line, which we can take in any direction we want. We could also take it off the side here and on top if we really wanted to. So now you'll see that we actually have the length to reach the glowstone lamp. Now there's other ways you can make repeaters using pistons, so we'll give you a short example of that. You will put a line down like so. Do your redstone, don't really know how far it has to go here. We'll turn it on so we can see how far we can go with it. And there we go, it runs out. Now let's say we wanted it to go here. So that's where we'd have it, like so. Yeah, I'm marking it out, guys. You'll see in a sec. Alright, so there we go. Obviously having the redstone here wouldn't work that great. We could throw a repeater here. We could do our double repeater thing like so, and probably actually make it to the block like that. But the thing is, that has a bit of delay. Now there's ways you can actually have instant turning off and not turning on though. So you'll see right now when I turn this block off, it will be instant, as the switch would be. So like so. But when you turn it on, there's a slight delay. Now, it's barely noticeable right now. If you have a line of these in a row, you can notice a bit more. And I'll actually do that now so you can see the difference. Put another one here. This is a piston repeater. It's called Instant Wire or something. I've learned all this from my homeboys, the Redstone Wizards, I call them. Well, not all of it. I knew a lot of it, but it was time to revamp my tutorial. So you'll see now, it turns off instantly. But it takes a second to turn on. And yeah, that is also really useful for buttons that send like pulses really quickly. Obviously, because it has to be on all the time, you'd have to add an inverter here, like this. If a block is too close to another block, you'll see that when I put the torch here, it actually does work. I forgot about that. Didn't think it worked anymore. But if it isn't for some reason, because you have an awkward angle like this, see how it's not working? Say I wanted to take this off and it to do its own thing here, like that. To get this one also to connect to this torch, you just bring the redstone on top, like that. So now when I flick this switch, you'll see a bit of a delay and then it will be on. And then you flip the switch and a bit of a delay and it will be off. And that's about it I have for repeaters. Basically, it's extending an initial signal. So this switch is on. As long as it gets to the end, it's basically a repeater unless it has some timer to do with it. So I could have like this, which did this, and then the redstone came out here and hit one of these with a inverter here, which sent the signal here onto this block and out. And because the signal's still on, it's a freaking repeater. It's a stupid one, but it's a repeater. So that is it for repeaters in this episode. My goal for this series, or not series so much, just a bunch of random tutorials, is to teach you to do your own stuff, not to just use something that you're taught and remake it. I want you guys to learn redstone how I learned redstone, and you can be creative with it and start making your own maps containing a lot of redstone contraptions. So if you did like this, I'd appreciate a like. If you already knew it, I'm sorry. Maybe you could just leave some love and some suggestions. And that's what I'm asking for now. I want some suggestions for new tutorials. What do you want to see? Do you want to see, what do you want to see next? AND gates, T flip-flops. I'm going to try to go through all the basic things I know and teach them to you. And hopefully you guys can leave some video responses of things you learnt. Feel free to leave a video response if there's anything you'd like to add to this, or even just a comment. And yeah, thank you for watching everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.